Ateneo de Manila University, please welcome Kapusong Mav Gonzalez!
Hi, good afternoon everyone. Hi, I'm Mav Gonzalez. I'm a reporter for GMA and I graduated ABCom 2011. So pwede naman akong i-ate Mav. Hi, Ninang Sev. Ayan. So, welcome to I Am Social. This is the GMA News Think Before You Click and YouScoop session. So, excited ba kayo? Do you have any idea what we're gonna do today? Baka nasa bakasyon pa yung mga isip nila. So, huwag na natin patagalin. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my co-host, your very own Von Pesumal.
Hi, Mav. Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
Von. How are you, Von?
I'm good. How are you? How's everybody here? That was nothing. Ano to? Wala. Ganito lang ba sila buong, ano?
Kahit pag UAAP, pumped up na
Oo
pumped
nga.
up kayo.
Well,
Si Von pa rin naman to. Okay.
Well, as you all know, we're here for the I Am Social event. And before we start, I just want to let you guys know that I'm not getting paid for this.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Joke lang.
Well, yeah, we have a lot in store for you today, and I'm really excited for you guys. So, let's get it started.
Yeah. This is actually the second leg of the I Am Social sessions for the school year, and we have made a lineup that's especially for Ateneans.
Yes, that's right. We have a lot in store for you today. And to get the ball rolling, let us welcome my personal idol.
Our idol. Everyone's idol.
Idol ng bayan, Sir Sev Sarmenta, for the opening remarks.
Sa GMA ang buhay,
Idol.
Bagay sila, no? Yee! Kom na kom. Diyos ko. Yung nagbasa yung nag-prayer kanina si Ivan Henares, president namin sa ACOM. Palakpakan natin si... Kasi hindi ka in-acknowledge ng voice-over. The invocation by Ivan Henares. Yun na yan, tatandaan mo doon. Palakpakan natin si Ivan ulit. Pleasant afternoon to all of you, dear friends, students, colleagues dito sa Ateneo, some faculty members and students. Welcome. In behalf of the Ateneo communities, we have a long name for our organization. I can't even remember what it is, but there's an initiative in the school to make our participation and involvement of our school a little more meaningful for the elections. So from different parts of the university, this is one of the initiatives that we have decided to participate in along with our friends from the GMA network. And we'd like to thank you and our friends from GMA for hosting today's event. Give them a nice kapuso welcome. Our common goal and interest is to see how more can be done. More in terms of generating more awareness for the coming elections and beyond. More discussion, more enlightenment, and more understanding in this era of social and digital media. The upcoming national elections is just one facet of our lives, an important one, no doubt, and we are here today hopeful that the elections will trigger more informed use of social media for social good. Today, in our daily lives, we simply turn to social media and other forms of new technology automatically in almost the same way we have turned on our appliances inside our homes and inside our offices. Many years ago, almost 60 years ago, just as television was once believed to be the bearer of all things unsophisticated and uncultured, social media is still feared in the same way, but has now graduated into being part of our lives, part of the furniture, part of the set in our homes, and even part of our hands and fingers. But we all know that social media, if used properly, can be turned to for many good things. As social media commentator Clive Thompson so accurately pointed out, today, all of us, we are more in contact with each other. There is more awareness of those in our networks, and we are publishing more than ever, even if at times there are just too many pet and food pictures to look at. So you being here today is a great sign that we are all in this together. Sounds like the High School Musical, but that's the way it'll go. We want to know more about what we can do to do more for good. So sit back, let's all learn together. Again, thank you GMA Network for dropping by. We hope we can work again together or in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Sam.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, so guys, if you're here, you can tell your friends that this event is actually being streamed online. So they can visit gmanews.tv/IamSocial.
Yep, and don't forget to tweet about I Am Social using the hashtag IamSocialXAteneo. And you can, of course, we thought about you guys kasi baka sabihin nyo walang signal dito. May Wi-Fi, may free Wi-Fi ang Ateneo for you guys. And that is, yep, there, guess 2, and that's the Wi-Fi password. So you guys have no excuse not to tweet. I'm gonna look at all your social media accounts after.
Tweet, guys, ha? Walang 9gag dyan, ha? Alright, so we don't want to keep you here for very long, so let's begin with our talks. Here at I Am Social, we talk about social media and of course, its effects on our community. In this day and age, it has become a necessary tool and we all have social media accounts. Ako parang lahat yata meron eh. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, I think when I was younger. Yeah, ikaw ba, Von, meron kang social media account?
Of course I do, and you can follow me at Von19. What a shameless plug.
Wow!
Very shameless plug. But yes, I do agree with you because social media right now, it's a big thing in our generation and I think everybody uses it and everybody knows what's going on because of social media. But to quote a great character in a great movie, with great power comes great responsibility.
And so our first speaker will talk about how he used social media in a good way. Let me give you a little backgrounder about him. He is a very known travel blogger and online personality. He's been named as one of the 10 outstanding young men in 2012 for his works in heritage conservation. So ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Mr. Ivan Henares. Let's give him a big hand.
Kaisa tayo sa isip, kaisa tayo sa...
Okay, good afternoon to everyone, and thank you to GMA for inviting me over today. And my topic is actually just an introduction to social media, and they asked me to share about what I've done on social media. I'm a heritage advocate, but before that, how old were you in 2001? Huh? So if you remember this, yung go to EDSA, wear black. Of course, you won't remember it. I don't think you were old enough to remember this incident. Of course, this was the EDSA DOS, and President Joseph Estrada became the first head of state in history to lose power to a smart mob. No? Of course, text pa lang nung panahon yon, wala pang mga smartphones, wala pang Facebook, wala pang Friendster, kung naalala nyo pa yung Friendster. Nung kapanahon na namin, ICQ pa, at saka Yahoo Messenger. No? Ay, may Friendster na ba tayo nun? Parang IRC, kakaumpisa pa lang. No? So, nasa text pa lang yan noong 2001. But the point here is that text messaging was already a powerful tool to gather people. It actually became a revolution. Next slide, please. And the role of texting in EDSA 2 has opened our eyes to the power and potential it has in mobilizing public opinion and warm bodies to political action. Of course, fast forward to 2016, text messaging has been replaced by smartphones. You have apps. You don't have to spend for text messages anymore. There's Viber, there's WhatsApp, there's Facebook Messenger, and all that. And next slide, please. Gone are the days when mobile phones simply meant convenience for the perennially mobile. Today, it is a passport to life itself and citizenship in the networked future. And nota, this is something in 2002. And do you still remember these phones? Huh? I think I had one of the earlier ones. But you can see how phones have evolved. And you also can see how messaging has evolved, from the first written word, of course, went through mass publication, email, and we're now down to Twitter. And of course, this has changed, drastically. So what is the power of social media in the Philippines? Let's see if you remember this. I think you are also too young, but I want to show you some names. Do you remember this? Or are you even too young to remember, no? Social media if it's not controlled properly, can really destroy people. No? If you remember the incident of DJ Montano, Malu Fernandez wrote something on a magazine, it got scanned, and of course she got bashed for it. No? Chris Lau got featured on GMA, and he got bashed for that as well. Tito Soto, you remember the plagiarism issue? Robert Carabuena, do you remember him? Top Gear should know this. He was the guy who slapped the MMDA enforcer. He was the guy in purple and they were calling him Barney. No? And of course, si Amalayer. No? There was a video. And my point is, cyberbullying is actually a problem in the Philippines. No? Online, I call it the online lynch mob. No? It's a negative effect of social media in the Philippines. And it's something that we really need to address. You know, people get bashed, get threats, no, on social media. So cyberbullying is actually a big problem in the Philippines that we need to address. And in a way, no, the sad truth, sometimes the media is also there to fuel cyberbullying. Of course, when you feature things on the media and people start reacting to it, and then we continue to fuel the fire, that becomes a problem, especially for the people who are cyberbullied. Next slide. In fact, memes have also become a tool for cyberbullying. I'll show you some. You know what? We started to here's one. Here's next one, please. Ayan. Grabe, no? Grabe mag-cyberbully talaga ang mga Pinoy, no? We cyberbully a lot, and memes have become a tool, no, for cyberbullying, no? Next slide. So that's my first point, no? Second, do you tweet or post because it's trending? You know, that's something I noticed in the Philippines, ano? Bago mag-tweet yung tao, titignan muna kung anong trending, tapos makikitrend din, no? Diba? That's become a phenomenon that we actually need to study. And of course, the most recent of trends would be Aldab, no? The biggest trend so far. Next slide, please. Pinoy text and online voting power, lakas natin dyan. Kapag online contest, panalo lagi ang Philippines, ano? Miss Universe, #1, Miss Philippines, diba? Lakas natin bumoto, no? We can do that. And next slide, please. Global celebrities are also born online, no? Sino ba ang makilala natin naging celebrity dahil sa social media? Sino? Justin Bieber. O, hindi mga Pilipino muna. Let's go local. Si Charisse Pempengo. Sino ba? Zandy Rose. Dami, no? There are so many people who have become global celebrities simply because of social media, and that's how powerful it is, no? Next slide, please. So, it's changed a lot. From broadcast, dati TV ang malakas. Ngayon, pati mga TV networks like GMA, and I'm sure we all know this, they have to shift now to interactive, no? Hindi na pwede yung nasa TV ka lang ngayon. Kailangan meron ka ng social media. You need to get people to react. And in a way, it's a way of Filipinos also expressing themselves when they are able to talk back, give their reactions, give their suggestions, give their comments. So it's very important for Filipinos, lalo na sa atin, no? Gusto natin nakakapagsalita tayo. Kapag hindi tayo nakakapagsalita, wala, di ba? Next slide, please. So, we have to accept that fact that one cannot survive without social media. And next slide, please. Companies and NGOs are changing their strategies. They have to. If they don't do that, it's going to be a problem for them. So I'll show you some stats. I got this from We Are Social. Next slide, please. Okay, this is January 2015. We have 44 million active users and 40 million active social media accounts, no? Now, in a matter of 11 months, next slide, it already increased, no? 47 million na yung active internet users. I think 3 million yung dinagdag. Tapos, active social media users, plus 8 million in a matter of just 11 months. So you can see how fast media is moving in the Philippines, and I'll tell you why later on. No? Of course, we all know some freebies have been given by the mobile network, so it's affecting the speed of which social media is actually reaching the broader population. No? Next slide, please. So our annual growth in active internet users has been 18%, no? And the growth in social media accounts is 18%. Next slide, please. Average daily use of the internet for the Filipino is 6 hours. Siguro sa inyo mas mahaba, no? Ha? Aminin. Walang gusto umamin. More than 6 hours, no? And the average daily use of internet via mobile phone is 3 hours, no? Average daily use of social media via any device is 4 hours. And average daily television viewing time, internet users who watch TV are almost 3 hours. Next slide, please. Internet users, we have 44 million, no, which is of course 44% of the population. And the total number of active mobile internet users is 32 million people. No? Next slide, please. Share of web page views on laptops and desktops is 71. We still do it, most Filipinos who are online still do it via computers. Mobile phones is at 21%. No? Next slide, please. The total number of active social media accounts in the Philippines, 40 million. No? Active social accounts as a percentage of the population, of course, 40%. Total number of social accounts accessing via mobile, 32 million people. So 32 million people are accessing social media here in the Philippines via mobile phones. No? Next slide, please. Of course, this is obvious. The top active social platform is Facebook, and of course, Facebook Messenger. No? Next slide, please. Mobile phones, we have 114 million subscribers. No? And the percentage of the connections that are prepaid, 96%. No? Laki pa rin, no? Next slide. Percentage of the population using social media apps, maliit, 19%. No? But here is what you will find, well, I don't know if this is surprising, but if you were to compare the Philippines to other countries, it's second to Argentina in this study, although nakalagay dyan pareho 4.3 hours a day on social media. So comparing to other countries, Japan, no? 0.07 hours on social media. And Japan is very productive, no? Do you think that our stay on social media is making us less productive than Japan? That's a question we need to ask ourselves, no? And of course, here, Facebook in the Philippines, no? Next slide, please. Oops, hindi pa lang nakita yun. Sorry. That slide shows you that the Philippines is second, no? When it comes to time spent on social media, no? Japan is only 0.07 hours a day on social media. And here in the Philippines, we spend an average of 4 hours on social media. So does it affect productivity? It's a question. Next slide. Facebook in the Philippines. The biggest number of users of Facebook, of course, would be those between 20 and 29. No? So, alam natin yan. And speaking of Facebook, here's my question. Next slide. Is free Facebook good or bad? Huh? I heard bad. Oh, why bad? Yes, no? And that is why it's a big problem in the Philippines. Why? Public opinion is now based on titles. Hindi ba? Nakakatawa eh. Kung minsan mag-share yung mga tao ng title ni hindi man nabasa yung article. So I see people, they'd share the article, they'd give their long opinion, and then when you read the opinion, it has nothing to do with the content of the article. And that's because of free Facebook. So it's an issue. It's a very big issue because free Facebook shapes public opinion, and the way it shapes public opinion is in a negative manner because people have stopped reading, no, articles on social media. Basically, they will look at the title, they will look at the comment, and that's basically their basis for their opinion. No? Next slide, please. And as a blogger, I've been blogging for over 10 years now. I started my blog in 2005, so I'm what you call one of the first movers. No? Blogging is a tool for social movement and social action through social media. No? So, next slide, please. I'm sure you've seen all these hashtags and how we've been able to help, no, in a lot of issues. No, next slide, please. So as I mentioned, my blog is 10 years old. I started blogging in 2005. Next slide. I started traveling young, quite young. This was in 1985. When I posted this picture, some old-timers still remember that plane. Next slide. Next slide. No? Next slide. And next slide. Yan. No? And because of those travels, I was inspired to start my own blog. Next slide. In 2005, I remember my first blog was on, guess where? Friendster. No? I started my blog on Friendster before I actually moved it to Blogger. No? So, of course, my niche is traveling, and my goal at the time was to tell everyone and show everyone that the Philippines was a very beautiful place, is a very beautiful place, and you have to travel around the country first, no, before actually going outside. So I used my blog to do that. Next slide, please. In fact, it was my goal to travel to all the provinces of the Philippines. So in 2010, I was finally able to do that. No? At the time, there were 79 provinces. Next slide. And then suddenly, Dinagat Islands becomes a province again. That's 80. And then next slide. Suddenly, they create a new province, and I went to Davao Occidental in 2013. So I visited all 81 provinces of the Philippines. No? It was a fantastic journey for me, and I was able to see a lot of things because of the blog. So next slide, please. Blogging did change me, and I hope it changes you as well. It encouraged me to travel more and experience more than the usual, especially in our country. No? I became more observant during trips. Kung dati, puro selfie lang tayo. Oh, pagdating dito sa lugar na to, picture, picture, picture. No? Dahil sa blog ko, talagang tinitignan ko lahat. I started being more meticulous when it came to details. No, I asked a lot of things rather than just going to a place, having my picture taken, and then, oh, I went there. But I just had my picture taken. Now you really ask, you really experience, try to find, no, the best dishes, etc., etc. No? I realized also that I could help promote lesser-known attractions which I felt, no, deserve more attention. So, parang naging mission ko na yun na pag may pinuntahan ako at sasabihin nila, sir, gusto ho naming ma-promote, o sige, lagay natin yan sa blog para makilala tayo, no? And then, yun na nga, I was able to get my message across. And the blog, no, it later became popular. I was surprised. I was just blogging for myself and my friends. It got discovered, no? And because of that, I got invited to free trips as well and fam tours. In fact, next slide, please. We were the first to be invited to the international trip. This was one of the first fam tours abroad for bloggers. No? We were sent to Malaysia with fellow bloggers. I can see Nina and Ferds. No? Next slide, please. And then the blog also became a way for me to really bring out my advocacy, which is heritage conservation in the Philippines. No? Being a member of the Heritage Conservation Society, I used my blog, no, to raise awareness on the situation of our built heritage resources. So it was not just about travel. I made sure to remind my readers that travelers have a responsibility to help conserve our cultural and natural heritage. No? So in 2007, the blog won the first Philippine Blog Award. So I'll just show you some pictures of advocacies that we really brought out using the website. Next slide, please. So yan ang Baguio City. No? Baguio is a really depressing case of how the lack of planning, no, and regulations have destroyed the beauty of a community. No? Informal settler shanties are now, they now cover urban mountain vistas and once open green spaces. No? Sayang. So this is one of the issues that we raised online. Next slide, please. We also raised this issue. They built a sports complex right beside Fort Santiago. No? We came out with this post. It became a big issue as well. The Intramuros administration filed the case versus PTA. The court sided with Intramuros administration and ordered the demolition of the sports complex. So it's not there anymore. No? So that's something that we did via social media. Next slide, please. The Alberto House in Binyan, Laguna. Binyan is up in arms because the house of the mother of Jose Rizal, Teodora Alonso, they wanted to transfer it to Bataan, no? Of course, if you transfer a house, you basically remove a part of the community, no? Siyempre, ayaw ng Binyan eh. Amin si Teodora Alonso, di ba? Bakit nyo ililipat sa ibang lugar, no? Next slide, please. Unfortunately, no, natanggal nila yung loob ng bahay kasi may mga regulasyon tayo dito sa Pilipinas na kapag kayong loob, tinanggal mo, hindi demolition. No? So tinanggal nila yung loob, nililipat nila sa Bataan, yung harap na iwan, dahil walang foundation, ay walang poste sa loob, nag-collapse siya. No? So andun pa rin, wala pa rin nangyayari, pero lumalaban pa rin yung Binyan kasi gusto nga nilang ma-restore ulit yung bahay ni Teodora Alonso. Next slide. Ito, yung munisipyo ng Bawan. Next slide, no? We fought hard to preserve this. This is a Juan Arellano Art Deco design, pre-war, no? So, nakinig naman sa atin yung local government dahil dito sa post na ito. Online to, Online kami naglabas ng mga pictures na to, tsaka yung post, nakausap namin yung mayor na save yung, yung building. Ito yung next slide, please. Mountain Province Capital, no? Next slide. Unfortunately, hindi natin dahil sa layo nito at hirap puntahan, nalaman na lang namin na nag-iba na ng local government yung American period capital nila. Nagpagawa na naman ng bago. No? Despite the fact na merong order ang Historical Commission na wag galawin. Next slide. Nako, ito. No? Ang Hayalay, this was the start of the heritage movement in the Philippines. We remembered it in 2000, no? This was, I think, mga 2010, the 10th anniversary. Next slide, please. Yan. Great architecture has only two natural enemies, water and stupid men. No, by Richard Nicoll. Next slide, please. Ang Meralco Building, ito, nawala din yan. No? Nilaban namin yan online. Next slide. Ang GSIS Building, ito, good news, hindi sisirain. Their adaptive reuse, no? Now, the next pictures I will show you are more recent, no? Next slide, please. Etong Dampol Bridge, ang nag-post nito, next slide. Ang nag-post nito, yung mga taga Nueva Vizcaya mismo, no? Pinost nila yung litrato na to kasi sinisira ng DPWH yung bridge, Spanish colonial bridge, para mag-road widening, no? Pinost to ng mga taga Nueva Vizcaya. We tried to get the message across and finally umabot doon sa local officials. Pinastop nila sa DPWH. So na-save yung bridge, no? Next slide. Army Navy, no? Ito masakit yung nangyari dito na gut yung interiors nito, no? Na wala tayong kalaban-laban, no? Next slide. Ito, big issue to sa social media, no? Yung reclamation sa Manila Bay, no? Tatayuan dapat nila ng island, yung area na yan. Nilabanan natin yan kasi nga makakasira sa environment. Next slide, please. Ayan. On this site will rise another mixed-use, master-planned, multi-purpose, shopping, lifestyle, commercial, traffic-producing, environment-compromising development approved by your city council. Gawayan ni Paulo Alcazare, no? Ganyan tayo lumaban sa social media, no? Next slide, please. No? Next slide, please. Of course, ito, alam natin tong issue na ito. No? Another social media issue. No? Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Ayan, ganyan na ang mga selebrasyon natin ng Rizal Day. No? Makikita na natin yung building na yan. In fact, dahil sa social media, next slide, please. Kilala niyo ba yan? Kilala niyo ba yan? Si Nieto, President Nieto of Mexico. Kung titignan niyo yung page ni President Nieto, sa dami-dami ng pictures na pinost niya doon sa wreath laying sa Rizal Monument, itong picture na to, kaisang picture na ito, kaisa isang picture, yung nag-viral. No? And alam naman natin na bakit. No? So lahat ng tao nag-react, ay pangit talaga. Kailangan yung Pinoy, kailangan makita bago maintindihan, ano? Kung kailan nakatayo, doon lang nare-realize ng Pinoy na, ay, meron palang ganyan. Before it was standing, we were already complaining, no? But Filipinos only get to realize it when it's visual and when they actually see it there and see that it's really out of place, no? Next slide, please. Itong building na to, next slide, ang El Jugar is another building na binabantayan natin on social media. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yan. I hope that's the crown jewel of Manila, no? Next slide, please. Ayan. Ito mga memes naman na ginawa natin. So if memes can be used for cyberbullying, pwede rin siya to get your advocacies across, no? Ang problema sa Sagada ng Holy Week and every Holy Week, masyadong maraming tao, no? And umaangal na yung local community. So, ang ginawa namin, Sagada is fully booked, no? Kung may balak kayo pumunta sa Sagada, pakiusap, huwag yun na ituloy sa ibang araw na kayo humugot, no? Next slide. Siyempre, umaangal din yung taga-Sagada. Nauubos na daw ang tubig nila. Bakit? Yung mga taga-Manila, 30 minutes maligo. So, yung tubig ng rice terraces, ginagamit na sa hotel. So, gumawa kami ng meme, huwag na kayo maligo sa Sagada pag Holy Week, no? Siyempre, joke lang yun. Next slide, please. Sumaging Cave, 500 people at any given time. They had to close the cave. And when the cave was closed, we had to make an announcement that Sumaging Cave is temporarily closed, no? Next slide, please. Yan, gumawa kami ng meme. May McDo na pala sa Sagada. Ayan yung trash na nakikita natin doon. So we made a meme for that. And finally, yan. Yung mga unruly tourists na naka-bathing suit sa harap ng Sagada Church, no? Nakatapis lang sila. Siyempre, galit na galit yung mga locals, no? So we used social media to remind people about that. Next slide. So, to end, no, my talk, no, just a reminder and something that we discussed in the Travel Bloggers Expo. May expo kami noon sa Bangkok, and one thing that we have to remember is online videos are the next big thing in social media. I'm sure Top Gear will talk about that more, no? How online videos are becoming very important to social media. Next slide, please. And then, be a responsible citizen journalist. No, please, before you do anything, isipin niyo muna kung anong magiging epekto ng pinapost ninyo. Next slide, please. Maraming namamatay, no? Sa maling akala. Next slide. And finally, please, no? And I think Pia will talk about this more, no? Get all sides before you click and post, no? We have the power of social media in our hands. All of us, we have that power. Kahit sino tayo sa Pilipinas, kung yung pinost natin nag-viral, no? It will have an effect on the people, no, that are in that post, no? It can actually cause distress to people, or it can actually better a community, no? So social media is very powerful, and we all have that in our hands. So please use it wisely. Thank you very much. So you can reach me in these social media accounts. Thank you.
Hello? Yeah, and thank you, Sir Ivan. Sir, let's go naman po to the couch for a very short Q&A. So guys, if you have questions, just feel free to raise your hand or approach the microphones that we have on both sides of the room. Meron po bang may question sa inyo? For Sir Ivan, mga aspiring bloggers, baka meron sa inyo.
Everyone is shy.
Hirap talaga pag first talk, nahihiya lahat.
O sige, dahil wala pa, kami muna ni Von yung
Yes,
magtatanong.
yes, okay.
Sige. Sir Ivan, kasi di ba kanina na-mention po ninyo, the rise of social media. Di ba Pilipinas nga parang we claim to be the social media capital of the world. What do you think accounts for the rise in population ng mga Pilipino sa social media? Especially in the last year. Sobrang dami talaga ng mga Pinoy. Twitter, Facebook, everywhere.
Well, as I mentioned a while ago, no, the rise in social media has to do with the fact that our mobile networks have started giving free Facebook and free Twitter, no, to Filipinos. At first glance, it sounds like a good idea that, you know, we're putting everyone on social media, no? But yun nga, yung pinag-usapan, yung sinabi ko kanina, the negative effect of that is public opinion is now shaped by titles, no? Or posts or comments on social media. People have stopped reading the articles simply because they can't click on it, eh. Because I think there's a new Facebook thing already that you can click an article via the Facebook page or Facebook post, no? But in most websites kasi, when you start clicking on a website, hindi mo na siya mapupuntahan kasi nga hindi na siya free, no? So, dahil hindi na nga siya free, hindi mo mababasa kung ano talaga yung laman nung post. So, talagang naka-focus na yung mga tao sa title. And yun nga yung masakit dyan. Lahat ng mga opinions ngayon online, nakabase ngayon doon sa mga title ng mga articles.
Actually, yung isang problem pa dyan, kasi di ba, Von, if you would know, sa Facebook, there are certain people na pinapalitan yung title ng article.
Yes.
You can actually do that.
Yes, you can change the article, and the sad part is changing the article has been used to spread rumors about, for example, other politicians, no? And nakainis kasi syempre pag tiningnan mo sa feed mo, uy, sinabi ni ganyan, totoo ba yan? Eh ngayon, kung ikaw, free Facebook user, yun lang makikita mo. Pero kung ikaw, you're actually online using your computer or you have data access, you can click on the article and you'll see, ay, hindi pala yun yung title. So mainis ka kasi parang now people are trying to shape public opinion by changing titles and giving false information, and that's a disservice to the country. And it's really sad that there are groups that are changing the title just so that they could destroy reputations of other people.
Sir, since nobody here, does anyone want to ask a question? Nobody? All
Extra
right,
credit daw, sabi ni Sir Sev.
+5 daw, +5.
Sir Sev, we're putting you on the spot. Extra credit for anyone who asks questions.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question, sir. You mentioned a while ago that with the accessibility of social media nowadays, almost everyone can give their opinion online. I just want to ask you, sir, where do you draw the line between opinion and actually spreading awareness for a good cause? Because when you give your own opinion, it can go both ways. You can say it's a good opinion or a bad opinion, but other people, when they post online and give their opinion, they just want to spread something about an issue or a topic or anything. Where do you draw the line between the two?
Well, first and foremost, in our advocacy, it's very important that we get our message across. So, people giving opinions for an advocacy is very good for us, no? But I always say that when it comes to an actual issue, and if people don't go beyond Facebook, meaning hanggang Facebook lang yung tulong nila, it becomes an issue, no? Parang yun na yung actual action na yung kailangan. Marami tayo mga armchair critics kasi, people who bash the government or say something bad on Facebook, pero when you ask them for action, ay wala akong maisip. No, parang that's where we have to draw the line, no? Yeah, we can give our opinions about everything. We can say everything. We can be an expert. In fact, sabi nga nila, ang dami nagiging expert sa boxing kapag may laban sa Pacquiao, ang dami nagiging expert sa basketball, o kaya ang dami naging expert sa beauty pageant kapag may Miss Universe, no? And sometimes Filipinos have to realize din na okay, it's nice to give an opinion, but we have to be constructive about it, no? Maybe we can use social media not just to bash, but to actually find solutions or suggest solutions. And that's what is lacking here in the Philippines. We like bashing, no? We like saying negative stuff, but eto na, pag sinabihan mo, anong proposal mo, ano yung solution mo, yun ang wala, no? And that's what we need to change in the Philippines. We should be helping each other to find a solution rather than just giving negative comments, no? Because if we won't go beyond negative comments, if all we say is negative stuff, no, against our government, it's not going to end. We're not going to be a better country because of it, no? We will be a better country when people start looking for solutions.
All right, on that note, thank you very much,
so much.
Sir Ivan.
Thank you very much as well.
Siyempre, dahil tayo ay I am social, we have to take a selfie daw before.
Obligatory.
Pardon us,
selfie.
guys. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you again, Sir Ivan. Thank you very much.
Let's all give him a big round of applause, everybody. Hello. For our next speaker, just kidding, we have our actually presentation, which will be presented by our very own A company. So I'll be interested to see what you guys will bring. Gonna dance. sing?
Sama daw si Von.
Ay, wag naman. Wag naman.
Sir Ivan, sobrang galing. You went to all 81 provinces.
My broken pieces, pick 'em up. Don't leave me hanging, come give me some. When I'm without you, I'm so insecure. You are the one thing I'm living for. We needing your love, it's gonna be deep in your love. It's gonna be when you're away. Oh baby, don't care where you are, I just wanna be there where you are. Won't do one little day. Sugar, yes please, won't you come and put it down on me? I'm right here, 'cause I need little love and little sympathy. Yeah, you show me good loving, make it alright. Need a little sweetness in my life. Sugar, yes please, won't you come and put it down on me? Yeah, I don't wanna play no games, you don't gotta be afraid. Give me all that shy shit, no makeup on, that's my sugar. Yes please, come and put it down on me. I'm right here, 'cause I need love and little sympathy. So baby, just show me good loving, make it alright. Need a little sweetness, yeah. Sugar, yes please, won't you come and put it down on me? Down on me. Yes please, come and put it down on me. Down me.
All right, thank you very much. Nag-ground si Von, sorry. Okay ka lang, Von?
Okay lang, okay lang.
Thank you very much, A Company. Another round of applause for your very own A Company.
For those who just arrived, this event is also being live streamed at gma.com, online actually. And good news, we are trending worldwide.
Yay,
Just
tweet
kidding.
pa, guys. Tweet pa.
Not worldwide, but we're trending. So please keep tweeting, keep posting on social media so trends more.
Again, we have free Wi-Fi for you guys, so you can connect. The username is guest2 and the password is TROIPNOA. Troip Noah. I don't know what it means,
Yes,
but that's the password.
That's the password. So you can also follow official social media accounts of GMA News on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Viber, and FireChat.
All right, so are you guys ready for the next talk? Medyo na-energize yan after the
Medyo
dance
ano na yan.
number. All right, well,
Good job,
today kasi social media is not just used for personal purposes. We also use it for news gathering and news sharing. Like us, for example, sa news. For example, something happens here inside Ateneo. Hindi naman yung news team can immediately go inside Ateneo. So what we do is we rely on what you guys tweet, what you guys share on social media so that we get first-hand information on what's happening. Actually, reporting nga is not limited na lang to news organizations and personalities like us, like GMA. You can also report the news using your smartphone. You can contribute to the coverage of events using just your cell phones and mobile data. Ikaw ba, Von, have you tried like recording videos or sharing a photo kapag may baha, kapag traffic? Do you do that?
Of course I have. I think most of us here, especially with the traffic nowadays, we've all complained through social media that, you know, it's traffic here in Katipunan or it's traffic here in EDSA, whatever. And I think that's one of the reasons why social media is so important, because you get to spread around information just by tweeting a simple one-liner that it's traffic in Katipunan. And that will in turn help out some other Ateneans who might avoid Katipunan to go somewhere, you know, because of the traffic.
That's true. And what you call that, yung mga tinitweet ninyo, yung mga sinishare nyo na pictures, that's what you call user-generated content.
Yes. Here to talk about the importance of user-generated content in the age of social media is our next speaker. He is currently the editor-in-chief of Top Gear Philippines, a popular website here in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Vernon Sarne.
Let's give him a big hand.
Hello. I'm Vernon. I'm from Top Gear Philippines, a car magazine published by Summit Media. I don't know if you know our magazine, but you're probably more familiar with our company's other magazines like FHM, Cospo, Good Housekeeping, Yes, Preview. But yeah, we're originally a British car magazine, and Top Gear Philippines is the local edition. Next slide, please. That's our magazine, actually. And you're the first one to see our February issue, featuring the all-new Toyota Fortuner and the all-new Hyundai Elantra. So we're a monthly car magazine. But also we're an automotive website, topgear.com.ph. We write about cars, motoring, and just about anything that is related to motorized travel. Next slide. But you probably know us by our Facebook page, Top Gear Philippines. We currently have almost 2.2 million followers, with more than 500 million talking about us, about the page at any given time. Sorry for the font. Walang font yung computer nung so medyo weird yung font na. This is that's our first post back in 2010. That's me and our consumer editor, Bochi Santos, who also writes for The Inquirer. As you can see, that was the very first photo that was posted on our page. As you can see, I had no idea what to do then with our Facebook page. Actually, I just wanted something to promote our magazine every week, every month, just to remind our readers that, hey guys, our new issue is out, get a copy. But after a year, we were still at 4,000 followers, and I was parang natatagalan ako dun sa growth nung page. So what I did was post a photo submitted by somebody. I don't know if you've seen this photo. This is a dog being transported at the back of an SUV. The dog is alive, actually. And that photo became viral, and for some reason, the number of followers of our page just exponentially increased after that. And so when I discovered that you can get a lot of following if you post photos from people, I started using photos from senders. Okay, next slide, please. So these are the numbers as compared to our very first photo. As you can see, sobrang malayo yung number na magaling sa readers. Usually they would send photos of an improperly parked car, of traffic, of a flooded road, anything that has to do with motoring. To be honest, initially, my bosses, our management expressed concern because technically speaking, Top Gear should really be about just cars, supercars, sports cars. But then I started posting, making stories about yung mga traffic concerns ng mga tao. And then all of a sudden, parang nag-iba yung tone ng page all of a sudden. Dati parang, ang aspiration ko pa dati parang maging 9gag lang siya, motoring version lang ng 9gag. But then when I started posting mga motoring concerns from the readers, parang nag-iba all of a sudden yung personality ng page. Next. Okay, next. And then, nung August 9, 2012, after a few months na sobrang dumami yung followers namin, lumaki yung engagement, first time I started to really put it to the test was on August 9 of 2012. Nagkaroon ng bagyo nun. And I just wanted to mobilize people just to collect mga donations for the typhoon victims. Next slide. Nagtawag ako ng, I didn't know kung may mag-show up, but surprisingly, ang daming dumating na tao. Next slide. Even mga car clubs actually showed up. And doon ko actually na-realize na you can use your Facebook page for something good kesa yung mga selfies lang or pa-cute or mga patawa. And ang sarap ng feeling actually. Sobrang nakaka-addict yung feeling na nagagamit mo yung social media channel mo for something good. And then 6 days after that, August 9, this is August 15, 2012, we stumbled upon this story. This was somebody forwarded the story to us. And then this is the guy Ivan was telling you about earlier. This is Robert Blair Carabuena, the guy who mauled an MMDA traffic officer among Saturnino Fabros. This story, for some reason, it became really viral on our website and also our Facebook page. That was also the first story that gave me the idea that we can actually produce articles for the website from stories and photos sent by people. So this is the kind of numbers that we're dealing with now. This is a recent post from September last year. So that one. These are the numbers that we get now. Next page. I just want to quickly mention the things that mga learnings na natutunan ko sa paggamit ng mga user-generated content. Number one, by collecting, by accepting submissions from the readers, we were able to inform and warn people. This is just from the other day. An SUV was broken into inside the compound of a church of all places in Libis, Padre Pio. And the PWD owner lost a lot of cash from his SUV. So we have a lot of posts like this, and they posts like this warn people, so they get to know what places to avoid, mga modus na uso ngayon na dapat nating to watch out for. And then second, we get a lot of submissions like this. We get to entertain people, mga parents who submit photos of their kids, pinapapost nila sa mga toy cars or sa mga action cars. Ang maganda dito, because they submit photos of their kids, bumabalik talaga sila sa page namin. Inaabangan nila kung kailan namin ipapublish, no? I'm sure marami kaming hindi na-publish, marami kaming hindi nagagamit. Just to give you an idea, we get hundreds of messages every day. And I admit, marami kaming hindi na nakikita talaga. It's just really not humanly possible to read all of them. But because nga marami kami nakukuha ang ganitong submission, or pakibati naman yung husband ko, 4th anniversary namin ngayon. Wala kaming commitment to post those photos, but because sinabit nila, they keep coming back because baka nga naman maging viral pag pinost namin. Next. And then because we have such a wide reach now, we're able to hold the authorities accountable. Again, this is from last week. I don't know if you heard the story of the Tagaytay car crash, the Vios that burned 6 minors. I think several of them alive. And of course, merong spin na binigay yung mga authorities sa Tagaytay sa mga media. And then because meron tayong mga readers who were also witnesses at the time who gave us the real account of what happened, we were able to present kung ano yung talaga nangyari. Na the police were just standing around. Hindi pa nasusunog yung kotse, walang tumutulong. Pwede nilang maisalba as many as three of the victims daw. But they just stood around and they even left, actually. Can you imagine a relative of yours getting burned alive inside the car? And knowing that there were several cops at the time, and nobody bothered to save them. Next. We inspire people. This is a manong jeepney driver who dresses up like that every day. Nakakurbata siya. But ang maganda sa page namin, I think, it's anyone can go viral. Kahit jeepney driver, kahit traffic officer. One time may naging viral sa amin yung MMDA traffic officer na nagbibigay ng food dun sa isang street kid. Naging viral siya and na-promote siya, nabigyan siya na-regularize siya dun sa work niya, nabigyan pa yata ng salary increase. So ang maganda sa page namin, I think kaya siya naging popular. I think nagkaroon ng voice. Everyone has a voice now, at least the motoring public. And anyone can go viral, anyone can be heard now. And the authorities actually listen. And you can use your social media to fight for others, no? Others who cannot fight for themselves. Like in this instance, yung mga people with disabilities. If you follow our page, probably nakita nyo to last week or 2 weeks ago. This is a Lamborghini that keeps parking dun sa may PWD rank sa BGC. According to our sources, palaging nakatambay lang yun dyan, hinaharangan yung PWD ramp, walang pakialam yung may-ari. So imagine if you have a loved one na naka-wheelchair who goes to that place, medyo sobrang hassle naman. Naka-Lamborghini ka na nga mangi-istorbo ka pa. Next. And then, for me, the most important thing is that we were able to get the government to act. Just last Sunday, we posted a photo of yung sira-sirang kalye talaga sa Naga City. And sobrang siyang nag-viral kagad. The mayor of Naga City posted a comment. And the following day, Saturday night ko pala pinost, the following day, Sunday, eto na siya. Inayos na siya. Pero nung July pa raw yan na hindi na ginalaw ng DPWH. Although alarming din because tinakpan lang nila ng asphalt. Parang binutas-butas nila, tapos dahil na top gear, tinakpan lang ng asphalt. So parang binutas, tapos tinakpan ng asphalt. Parang ano yung ginawa nila? Sabi nga ng mga nagko-comment, mas maganda pa yung road dati nung hindi nyo ginagalaw. Parang purpose ng binutas-butas nyo, tapos tinakpan nyo. Wala namang pinalitan ng mga tubo ng tubig, for instance. But ang tawag nila is road reblocking. Road reblocking. So, but anyway, at least we know that the authorities, government officials are constantly monitoring our page. We have also been invited already to mga Senate hearings. Pag may mga nagiging viral na story sa page namin. And so, I don't know how many of you maintain a Facebook page na pang-community, but ang maganda if you use yung mga submissions from your followers or from people is that you're able to create a community where everyone has a voice. Gusto ko lang mag-comment yung sinabi ni Ivan kanina, yung bullying, cyberbullying. Initially, and guilty ako dito actually, nung hindi pa masyadong kilala yung page namin, I used to post a lot of photos ng mga kotse na ang pangit ng mga body kit. Yung mga talagang pagtatawanan mo talaga, no? Yung may mga Toyota na kotse na may body kit na pang Honda, halimbawa ganun. And then talagang riot siya, pagtatawanan siya talaga sa page namin. Ang madaming, very shareable, ang daming comments. But then after a while, I got tired of it. And isip ko, but why? What's the point? What's the point of posting the photos of kotse naman nila yon, sila naman yung bumili, pera naman nila yon. They can do with it however they please and anong pakialam namin. So, gusto ko lang, connected lang doon sa sinabi ni Ivan kanina, I've long stopped posting photos like that. Yung mga nakakatawang photo ng kotse na para pagtawanan lang sa social media. I just really feel it's rude, and I don't ever want to be in the shoes of the owner of those cars. And yun, so if you haven't visited our page or our website, topgear.com.ph, I invite you to check them out, the website and the Facebook page. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Vernon. Thank you po. We'll have Sir Vernon again with us later. O, tama nga naman. Ayaw nating mapunta sa page ni Sir Vernon sa Top Gear.
Yeah, thank you so much for the talk. I really learned a lot. I'm sure everybody learned a lot also. Just a reminder, guys, you can connect through the Wi-Fi again. Guest 2, and that password is over there. So it's TROIPNOA. Yeah, and if you have a photo, you have a comment, or yeah, you can just post it on social media.
Alright, meron lang tayong super bilis na icebreaker kasi parang tulog na yung mga tao dito sa likuran eh.
Yeah,
Sasayawin namin kayo pag nilapitan ko. Hindi,
super
joke lang.
quick, super easy, fast game.
Very
You guys
quick.
are gonna win something, maybe. Who knows? But okay, the game is called Bring Me. Right?
Because
sure
we're
it's
all
creative.
very mature students here.
Yeah,
Bring
so
me yung game natin.
the first item you have to bring to Mav right here.
Yeah, you can just raise your hand. I'll go to you, no problem.
So, pabilisan to
May prize promise.
May
May
prize.
tumblers kami na nandyan. Alright.
Is a laptop. First one.
Oh, here.
Alright, there we go.
The first
There we
one
go.
is here.
Laptop.
Congratulations. Alright, next one.
The next one is a ball pen. That's the easiest. Come on,
Ballpen.
that's the easiest.
Gusto ko yung hawak niya na yung phone niya, yung pen niya. Congratulations.
So, the next
Second time's the charm. Oh, last one.
the last one is a cell phone with a picture of Sir
Oh,
Tev. The
here
same.
now. You
Cell
have
phone, cell
one
phone.
here. Yay! Congratulations. Oh, di ba nabuhay sila? Kailangan pala may
Buhay, diba?
tumbler tayo.
Dapat sabihin ko cellphone na may picture kasama si Sir Sev, kaso
Ay, mahirap yun eh.
baka tumakbo pa sila eh, so layo.
Ayan.
Alright,
Alright, so now we'll go to our third and last speaker for today.
our last speaker will talk about that. Our last speaker, she is one of the co-anchors of Saksi, our late night newscast. She also co-anchors with Jiggy Manikad.
Yeah.
24 Horas Weekend. I'm sure you've all heard about it. Let's all welcome the very beautiful Miss Pia Arcangel.
Yay! This is homecoming for Miss Pia also because she's also Atenean.
Thank you. Galing ng scriptwriter mo, Von, ha? I appreciate the nice compliments. Hi, everyone. Are you guys still okay? Yeah. Are you supposed to be on your way home by now? Yes. Nako, sige. I'll try to keep it short, ha? Not too short na you'll think hindi ako nag-prepare, but short enough for you to be able to go home early and avoid rush hour. I just have a few questions. Are most of you or all of you comm students? Yeah? Is there anyone here who's not a comm student? No. Two. What's your course? Pol Sci. Okay, so, and you came here today because you wanted to be a part of this and listen. Thanks for coming. Okay, so who here has a Twitter account? Everyone. Who has Facebook and Instagram? Okay, who here thinks before he or she clicks? Nabawasan yung nag-raise ng hand. Ba't gano'n nabawasan? Okay, well today, I want to talk about think before you click. How we all have a responsibility. I mean, you know, we made the effort to open an Instagram account, Twitter account, and Facebook account. So we might as well think before we click. Because, you know, opening accounts like these, in the beginning, it's just for fun or for personal reasons or because you just want to connect with your friends or people in the community. But later on, you realize that whether or not your settings are private, there will be that chance. There will always be that chance or that possibility that whatever you post on your page will still be shared or, you know, will reach other people and maybe become even viral. So, because of that, we all have a certain responsibility that comes with having these kinds of social media accounts. So, we'll talk about it. These are several points, basic points actually, but I'll try and give you some examples also so that you have a good idea. First is to be truthful, accurate, and fair. This is a given. I mean, you know, why will you post on something that's not truthful, not accurate, or not fair? Although there are some people who will do that, and I believe they're called trolls. So, pero that's not us, right? I mean, that's not anyone who's here. But why is it important to be truthful, accurate, and fair when we're posting something on social media? Let's take a look at this. Of course, when you're a news account, you know, or when you're a verified account, a big account like GMA News with 4 million followers, di ba? More na ba? More than 4 million? 4 million followers. Follow us, hi, if you're not yet following. Okay, when you're a big account, a verified account, of course, it's important to, you know, post the right things because if you have that big a base of followers, it's impossible that nobody will try to correct you or nitpick or, you know, just wait for you to make one tiny mistake and then feed it to the trolls so that they can feast on you. So always make sure that you're being truthful. Kami, we have this golden rule because we're reporters, newscasters, journalists, whatever. We're news people. So when we're out on the field, we have a golden rule. More important, and I'm sure Sir Sev has probably taught this to you also, or your teachers in journalism, more important than being the first is being accurate. Kasi diba sometimes, especially now, it's always parang unahan, parang sino bang unang nag-post? And you know, if you're a follower, you're gonna say, ay shucks, nauna yung ABS-CBN mag-post sa GMA, ang bagal naman ng GMA. Or sometimes makikita mo, so syempre yung mga tao magre-react, grabe, bagal ng GMA. Pero marirealize nila, mali pala yung pinost ng kabila, tama pala yung pinost ng GMA. Kahit nahuli, tama yung pinost ng GMA, mas accurate. Of course, it could work the other way around, right? So it's very important to make sure that before you post anything, you have all the facts straight. Before kasi, when I first started as a reporter, wala pang social media. So our only means of, you know, breaking the news would be through television and radio. So it was so much easier. The pressure was not as big. Kasi parang lalabas ka and then your deadline is the 6:30 p.m. newscast. And then sometimes, if it's a really big story, flash report, which airs every hour. But then, the demands were different. So you could wait. You could wait 30 minutes before composing your story and giving it or submitting it to your editor. But nowadays, it's different. As it happens, you have to be tweeting already, and then you're not just tweeting, you're already composing what you're gonna submit for your script, and before your script even, you're already composing also your summary to your desk editors. So you can get carried away with that, and you wanna get it done with. Parang sometimes, di ba, most reporters, your system is tweet muna, and then text mo yung editor mo, and then write your script. Parang nauuna yung tweet. But sometimes, we forget the importance of being truthful, accurate, and fair in that. I'll show you another example. Sige, later na lang yung other example. Like what I said, you have to verify the facts first before posting, tweeting, or retweeting. Actually, even yung retweet, that can happen na parang, if it's a legit account or a credible account, sometimes you'll retweet agad, but parang to be on the safe side, you also want to check on your own first, especially if you know that people think of you as a news source, or in college, kunwari, maybe not the news, but let's say you're part of ACOM, and then parang mag-tweet ka agad na, guys, walang pasok today. Di ba? Parang everyone is like, walang pasok, tapos retweet. And then ayun pala, walang pasok in Makati. Meron pasok sa Ateneo, di ba? Sa QC. So parang small things. Has that ever happened to you? Nag-tweet kayong walang pasok, may pasok pala? Or nag-tweet kayo free cut, pero hindi pala free cut? No? Sige, baka sa ibang ano lang yon. But do you guys tweet things like these? Simple announcements, di ba? Like deadline for thesis requirements, like that. Parang even that is something you have to double check. Kasi imagine, you post an earlier deadline, or worse, a later deadline, kasalanan mo pa. So here's an example. Okay, this is our example. Remember the Vong Navarro case? Yeah? Yeah, you remember that, diba? Recently lang yan. Anong year ba yun? 2014. Okay, when Denise Cornejo came out, people started tweeting na apo siya ni Attorney Gozon, who is our chairman and CEO. So, talagang that made the rounds, and parang it put a spin on our stories na parang everybody started thinking, kaya pala. Parang wala naman kaming intention or wala naman kaming ginagawa. Parang we're just reporting straight. Pero lahat nilalagyan ng spin because may isang nagsabi na apo ng aming chairman and CEO, si Denise Cornejo, which of course, wasn't the case, right? And here's another example. Ayan, I mentioned this earlier. Ito mga favorite ko. Mga walang pasok na tweets. This one, also, you have to be very careful. Kami, usually pag bagyo, us reporters, we get lots of questions on Twitter, and then we get, siguro kasi pag hindi sila sinasagot ng QC government, yung Twitter handle ng QC or na Makati, then sa amin na lang sila magtatanong thinking we'll answer sooner. But sometimes, syempre, naghihintay rin kami ng official announcement from them. So, that's also something, simple things like that you already have to make sure that you get it right and that these are verified. Because, ibabalik sa iyo, lalo na ngayon na it's so easy to screen grab. You know how to screen grab, right? So kahit na nag-apologize or ni-retract ng person yung kanyang statement, all you have to do is just, post the earlier, a screen grab of the earlier comment, and it'll ruin that person's day for sure. And maybe even that person's credibility and career. So we can go to our next item. Here. This is very important. Don't do or say anything on social media that you wouldn't do in public. I have a Facebook friend, she posted the other day, this was just the other day, she said, ang Facebook ay hindi isang online diary. Do you guys have that habit of making your Facebook account your online diary? Yeah? No, talaga? But some people behind you are laughing, so baka they do, no? Okay, what do you guys use your Facebook and social media for? For what? For school? Talaga? Like what? What do you do? For mga deadlines, ganyan, announcements. Or for browsing? I know na, to check yung mga Instagram ng artista. No? No rin? Mga OOTD nila? Yeah, ako, I do that sometimes when, you're waiting on the field and you have nothing to do. But anyway, this is important. Don't do or say anything there that you wouldn't do in public. Kasi syempre naman, you don't know who, obviously your friends, you accept naman the friends. Pero why would you want to say something to them, something on social media that you can't say to them to their face? Kasi kahit mag-rant ka ng blind item rant, syempre the person naman that you're talking about will probably get an inkling that he or she is the one you're talking about. Let's look at this example. This one, I remember this. You remember this when we were, somebody called Singaporeans Stingaporeans? Do you remember that? Okay, syempre that won't sit well with Singaporeans, diba? And here's another one. This one, did you hear about this? The effigy of Pia Wurtzbach that was burned in Colombia, and then later on, he just said na it's part of their tradition. Eh siguro hindi niya naisip na abot ng Pilipinas yung pinost niya. But that just goes to show how it's so easy for something to go viral, so always be careful. Here, this is our fourth point. Anything you share or anything you upload can be shared by others. Like I said, it's just, one simple screen grab and you're done. But if it's a good thing or a bad thing, one simple screen grab and it can go viral. So be careful always. I'll show you the example. Here, okay, remember this. Parang nag-post siya yung pinatay yung aso ng kapitbahay ng tatay. Yung tatay niya pinatay yung aso ng kapitbahay. Do you remember that? Syempre, why naman will you share that, di ba? Parang babalikan ka ng mga tao because of that. And also, you remember the one that was maybe recently lang din, the one of Chavit Singson? Yung tiger ba yun? Binarel or something, okay? And also the lion, you remember that? Okay. Those are different examples. And this one, did you guys see this? Yeah, grabe, di ba? Why will you post that on Facebook? Sinampay niya yung aso niya. This one actually went on to become a story that we covered for several days because we had to get animal rights groups. We had to get, of course, we had to try and find the person who actually did this. And you're gonna have people, complaining because why would you post a picture of your dog na nakasampay, na nakasipit, di ba? Kawawa naman yung aso. So things like that, it's tiny things that we might think are harmless, but syempre, it might offend the sensibilities of other people. So we have to be sensitive also to what our friends or followers see and think, because they will always have something to say. Here, you remember I'm a Liar? Yeah, this one also went on YouTube. This one also became a story that we carried on TV. This was the student who berated the security guard. And she was, talagang may audio kasi yung video, and again, it went viral. It's fast. It can travel really fast. So always make sure that you're careful of what you post, especially kung wala in your case. And let's say just an event in Ateneo, or maybe a game, diba? If you're watching a game live and then you see somebody, I have an example of that later, yeah. And then you see somebody doing something unpleasant, especially parang, parang UAAP pa, people are so passionate about it. Parang one wrong thing you say and all the other schools are gonna get on your case, and not just students, pati yung alumni, everybody will get involved. And I'll show you an example of that later. So that brings us to our fifth point. This one is a little harder to do than, it's harder to do actually than, than we think, okay? Because we're always told that we have to try and ignore tweets that, that can provoke you, diba? Pang may mga away sa'yo sa Twitter or Instagram, you just try and keep your mouth shut and not answer, but then it's really easier said than done. Here's one example of, this one was Luis Manzano. See, ang tagal na niya itong pinost, but until now we're still talking about it. This was last year pa, but because we have a screen grab, and then we're talking about it, okay? He answered. And this one also, but then of course, si Mo Twister, kasi I think that's really his online personality. Some people, that's their online personality, mga away talaga, and makikipagsagutan with other people. But then, you know, why do we really want to do that? Why do we want to fight each other? Like Vernon and Ivan were saying kanina, let's use social media to do good and try and get people involved in important things. Okay? So we have also stars like Sharon Cuneta. Yung mga hindi mo aakalain na sasagot pala, ay sasagot din. And then, let's see. Let's look at our next. Okay, there. This one's important too. We have to acknowledge, as much as it can, as difficult as it might be, no, we have to be able to acknowledge our mistakes and apologize for them. Okay, so here's, speaking of UAAP, here's one. Do you remember this? Wait, this was 2012. Were you in college at 2012? No, you were high school. Okay, I remember this. This was when Ateneo, wait, were you playing na, Von, in this game? So you remember this? Okay. Hindi naman ikaw yung nag-handle ng Twitter account ng UA. This was parang the official UAAP account. Okay, we go to the next one. Did it show? Yeah, did we show the actual thing? Because the UAAP account said, Ateneo defeats overrated NU. Oh, so syempre, kung ikaw ang NU, magagalit ka, di ba? And what if they said, NU defeats overrated Ateneo? Parang, what? Us? Overrated? Of course not. So, syempre, that's how people reacted and people demanded an apology. So eventually, the UAAP official account, they answered and parang they apologized and eventually acknowledged the mistake. The story was, it was an intern. Apparently, it was an intern who composed that particular headline or that particular item. So they had to apologize for that. So buti na lang they apologized, di ba? This one was recent. Zac Efron, yeah. I saw a news because di ba it was Martin Luther King Day just recently. And then, so Zac Efron, on his Twitter, he said he's grateful for Martin Luther King and his 10 million followers. So, syempre, all the supporters of Martin Luther King and even just other citizens, American citizens, were super offended na parang you will equate the things and the ideologies and the actions of Martin Luther King with your 10 million Instagram followers. So he drew so much flack for this. It was in the news. He had to apologize for that. And then parang on the same note, yeah, parang I saw kasi the news item, they were making him apologize for the fact that he's not going to be part of the High School Musical reunion. Did you know that? No? I saw it lang because of this news item. Okay. This one, you remember. I'm sure you all know this. Yeah? Yeah, you know this. Okay, the poor girl from LaSalle who was caught flashing her dirty finger behind a girl from LaSalle posing with Kiefer. This was, what year? Last year lang pala. 2 years ago. Okay? So, the girl, I remember this, she had to deactivate her account, diba? Because so many people reacted, parang they found her account, and then so many people started reacting, and even if her account was private, they were tagging her and trying to hack into her account. So she, eventually she apologized. And of course, Kiefer, being the great sport that he is and the great Atenean that he is, accepted the apology and asked everyone to simply stop bashing Kyla. I mean, if Kiefer could get over it, then syempre, tayo rin, we should be able to get over it. Okay? So last, this is super generic, but so true. Don't do anything stupid. How many times have we done stupid things in the past that we super regret? Na parang we do it lang, in front of our friends or in front of our family. But if you do it on Twitter, if you do it on Instagram, or if you do it on Facebook, that's so much worse, right? Because everybody knows about it and everybody will know about it. So it's not something that you want people to see or even remember you for. So this one was pretty recent. The guy who posted a video of himself, it wasn't a video. It was a video of him firing shots into the air with a gun, and it was posted around the time of New Year. So people thought that maybe it was indiscriminate firing to celebrate New Year, and they actually the PNP launched an investigation about this. It turns out he was in Guam, and so because they found that he was in Guam, and then the authorities in Guam found out he was there, then they also had to investigate what really happened. And then he was saying na parang he just accidentally uploaded the picture on his Facebook account because parang he didn't know how to use his gadgets. And then this one, picture of the couple taking a picture in front of the burning building in Dubai. Parang, why naman will you do that? Nasusunog na nga yung building, tapos magpipicture ka pa doon. I mean, even us reporters, when we cover big stories, lagi kaming sinasabihan na, don't take selfies like you're super happy, di ba? Parang magko-cover ka ng Yolanda, fine, take pictures of yourself covering or of your team at the end of the day, but not naman smiling and not to share it with everyone, because you have to be sensitive also to the needs of the others, and you have to be sensitive also to the fact na this is a real news story. So ba't ka magpo-post ng picture na naka-smile sa gitna ng baha just porket nakabota ka or naka-jumper ka, kailangan mo nang mag-OOTD, di ba? So you have to be careful and be mindful and aware of the things that you're posting. So that's it. That's the last point. It's really very simple, very basic. When you open a social media account, you have a certain responsibility, and it's important to be aware of that responsibility and to live up to it. There. Thank you. Hope you picked up a thing or two.
Thank you so much, Ms. Pia. Now may we invite Ms. Pia and Sir Vernon to join us on stage for a very quick Q&A. Let's just pull up chairs. Sir Vernon, here's yours. All right, very quickly. Sir Vernon, balikan po natin yung page natin sa Top Gear Philippines. You mentioned that you get hundreds of submissions every day. How do you filter which one is actually uploadable? And how do you tell, kasi pwede naman na isubmit ko to, pero actually hindi ako yung kumuha nito eh. How do you filter po kung ano yung pinopost sa inyo?
Well, number one, it has to be really interesting. And hindi naman pwedeng palaging maling parking lang or ano. Kasi magkasawa naman yung followers mo if you keep posting the same thing, di ba? But then, every now and then, you would stumble upon a really unique story. And then, yun yung ipupursue namin. Then we'd message the person, we'd reply and tell them, ask the person kung siya ba yung kumuha ng photo na yon, more details, kailan nangyari to, what really happened, and do you have more photos, do you have video, and then that's how we pursue stories.
Miss Pia naman, I couldn't help but think about what you said about think before you click and everything. But as if somebody wants to be an accomplished journalist and a credible one at that, I think it's kind of impossible to not be passionate and emotional about certain topics. If you post like a controversial thing on social media, when do you know when the right time it is to apologize if you've offended anybody?
I guess it'll depend on how many people are actually getting mad at you, tweeting you, tagging you, and I think because nga, diba, the idea is to think before you click, but sometimes nga when you're very passionate or it's happening at the moment, you just have to tweet about it. Sometimes the key there, I think, would be to just try and calm yourself down. Like just recently, okay, I know somebody. I was out with a friend, and then my friend, we went to a restaurant. This is simple now. We went to a restaurant, and then the service was really bad. Alam mo yung tawag ka ng dalawang table lang kasi kami, and then we were calling the waitress, and then we were asking the server. We say, excuse me, siguro nakatatlong excuse me kami, and then parang kung wala hindi niya kami naririnig, and then eventually she looked up, and then as in yung alam mo yung taray eyes, di ba, na parang mamaya na. So parang, okay. So my friend, who has a lot of followers, was super, super tempted to tweet about it and to tag the restaurant and say, poor service, terrible service, ganyan. And then I said, okay, just compose it, get it out of your system. You compose what you wanna say, your rant, whatever it is, but don't tweet it yet, okay? You just wait. Because we transferred to a different restaurant. Sabi ko, after we eat this meal, if you still feel like tweeting it, then you can post it. So true enough, after we had our meal, he decided not to post it. Okay, so that's really the key. You know how it is also, kung you're fighting with your ex, or not ex, or your boyfriend or whatever, your girlfriend. And parang, I want to see this, I really want to see this, but then, okay, I'll just count to 10. It really helps, it really works. So, and then, but if you weren't able to count to 10 and you actually posted it, as soon as you start feeling guilty, that's the time you apologize.
I have a question also, kasi for example, yung mga reporters, you're out on the field, and then for example, something happens, you have to tweet about it agad eh. Kasi yun yung competition ngayon with social media. How do you make sure, how do you compromise na mabilis yung information and at the same time, it's accurate?
You would know. It's really hard because diba, there's that pressure na parang you have to be first. Because you want to be the primary news source of people. So ako my personal rule always is better na mahuli ako basta tama yung sinabi ko, because I don't wanna risk being inaccurate just for the sake of being first. So, but sometimes, syempre, what you'll do is, if you have the press release, then you have an actual, you have a written, you have written evidence or whatever. Maybe that's what you can copy off, diba? But otherwise, the golden rule there is make sure it's correct before you post it. So, okay lang to wait a few minutes. Or sometimes, diba, Mav, we do this rin naman na you talk na to the person before the press con, diba? You talk to the person before the press con, so you can compose already the tweet, and then as soon as it's out there and said on record, that's the only time you actually click tweet.
Alright, yes po.
Understandable yung competition halimbawa between two giant networks, no? GMA 7 and the other network. Especially, you both have big, huge following sa social media. Ang maganda sa amin sa Top Gear, sa motoring beat, sobrang layo ng audience namin kumpara dun sa mga other motoring websites, motoring magazines. The next one is almost insignificant. So, dati nakikipag-unahan pa kami, but because na-realize ko na there's no point trying to be first. Kasi kahit mauna sila, kahit minsan naunahan nila kami by 4 hours sa news, sa amin pa rin naging viral. Always. Because of the size of our audience. So minsan nga unfair na sa mga kalaban namin because kahit may lead time sila minsan mauunahan ka eh. Hindi pwedeng palagi kang una. And minsan nga nag-verify ka pa. But minsan kahit mauna sila by 2 hours, 4 hours, because now you have a credibility and people know that you're very professional with the way you present your stories. Mas doon sila pumupunta sa social media page mo.
Alright, on that point, thank you very much, Ms. Pia, Sir Vernon. Let's give both of them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Salamat po. Thank you. All right, Von.
All right, we encourage you guys to use what you learned today. Next time you go online, especially everybody here is active on social media, so try to apply the lessons you learned today.
Actually, if you want to take it a notch higher, pwede niyo po kaming tulungan the way we generate the news. And how we do that is through YouScoop. So, Von, for those of you na hindi po nakakaintindi kung ano yung YouScoop, this is the way that GMA gathers news from our followers, from people like you, from students. So what you can do is you can tweet or message YouScoop using its official social media accounts. And you can also join its official Facebook group. Just search for GMA News YouScoopers Group on Facebook. So if there are newsworthy stories you'd like to share with us, just remember the phrase, i-YouScoop mo.
So I'm sure you guys will all be using that. You should be using that, actually. That's not a threat, don't worry. But it's that time of the event where we have to say goodbye to our viewers online. Just a quick reminder, before we cut the feed, please follow the official social media accounts of GMA.
www.facebook.com/GMA News. We also have Twitter and Instagram. Just please search for @GMA News. And syempre, we're also on YouTube, Viber, and FireChat. Just search for GMA News.
on behalf of everybody here, we'd like to thank those who watch via live stream. See you online and see you in our next I Am Social, the GMA News Think Before You Click YouScoop sessions.
Goodbye and thank you for watching. Alright, that's the end of our live stream, pero ongoing pa yung happenings natin dito. So we have 2 very quick bring me's pa. Meron pa kami kasing pwede pamigay sa inyo
Yeah,
eh.
we still have
So
2
yung mga
prizes.
hindi nakakuha kanina, may chance pa po kayo.
Right.
Alright, go
Again,
Von.
again, it's very easy. The first person to bring Mav a handbag.
Handbag. Handbag. Okay, over here.